Welcome back to the Zero E Michigan podcast. I'm Carl Bloss, and my co-host is
Larry Hudson.
And today we have with us the guys from ZSR Solar. Guys, if you want to introduce yourself, we'll get the conversation started.
Hello, everybody. I'm Teach.
And I'm Spark.
Together, we're Teach and Spark.
All right.
Tell us a little bit about ZSR Solar. We've seen your rover at some of the events like National Drive Electric Week.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I started the Zynoc Foundation originally, and that was to create awareness and develop renewable energy technology. And then when Spark joined up with me, we started creating solar rovers, based on the original one I did back in 2009, made out of a riding lawnmower,
Theater seats,
two mongoose bicycles, a treadmill motor, and some gears out of a manure spreader, and some McDonald's straws for headlights.
Not to mention the whopping 135 watt panel on top powering the whole thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. 160.
160 watt. Yeah, now we got 445 watt panels in the same space. It's really quite amazing how fast that's changed.
So if somebody gets a solar rover today, hopefully they're not getting parts from a manure spreader. It's a little more modern than that, right?
That one
complete prototype.
The whole point of that was one, I made out of garbage, true, but two, I needed to prove it could be done. At that time, in 2009, nobody had done anything with solar-powered vehicles of any kind, and I just believed I could do it. So I got a bunch of stuff together, and I made one.
Okay.
It still functions today, by the way. It's sitting in my shop up in Belding. I have my lab up in Belding anyway.
What is a solar rover? So I think if I remember correctly, I am not to call it a golf cart, right? I think you have a sticker on one of yours that says this is not a golf cart, but it's kind of like a golf cart. But what is it and what is it not?
Pretty much a solar rover is a slow to medium speed electric, previously existing electric vehicle that is converted over for solar onboard charging and or a mobile power station with an onboard connector right to the batteries, a AC inverter out, so you have AC wall outlet power on that said vehicle.
It's basically anything electric that we can put a solar panel on or find a way to charge it. So if you got
say that, yeah, because of the bus.
Tesla, we can make a solar powered charging station for you, like we did in Van Haven for John.
Or if you have an electric shuttle bus, that little people mover that they use like at airports and things. We have a bus that we have done, that 8-passenger shuttle bus that has 4 panels on top and an inverter in the back, and it's powering a farm and a microgrid system down in Ganges, Fenville area as we speak.
Okay.
Nice.
So if somebody is interested in this, they would contact you and you can provide them the whole vehicle. But if they also have an electric slow moving vehicle, like say a golf cart, you can also convert it, add solar to the roof, and then basically never charge it. Kind of what Aptera. So behind me is
for a cart, and then we have other vehicles take a different type of kit, and it's a whole nother animal depending on what we're building.
Okay.
Like a pontoon boat, you can have as many as 4 panels to 8 panels on it, or a houseboat. You can cover the whole deck with panels if you want to. Of course, the more energy you're collecting, the faster you recover your energy when you're using it. So there's a ratio to that depending on how much energy you use. I like to typically do twice what the person's using, and that way they have ample supply and it charges up quicker. They can also still charge on a sunny day. They can still charge while they're using the energy at the same time.
Are you talking about your trailer?
Well, any
vehicle. Yeah.
It's just
like a pontoon boat goes out there.
You're only as good as your weakest link. So a little overkill's not a bad thing.
Anyways, you give us an electric vehicle, we put the charging system on it, you never have to plug it in again. That's the long and short of it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's kind of what. So I don't know if you can see it behind me is a picture of the Aptera. That's one of the things that they say is like the never charge electric vehicle if you stay within the daily range of what it's capable of. So you're effectively doing the same thing for non-plated. I don't want to say non-street legal. That's a whole other discussion point, I think. But your vehicles are typically not plated. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
You don't know how close to the mark you came with that statement, but I believe you might have some idea. Yes.
Yeah, that's another story. Actually, if you like, we can walk over and
yeah, we can show you the solar rover.
solar rover, and we can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
I'm enjoying all these nice sunny days we've had lately. Gives us all this free transportation.
it's addicting traveling on the
Anyway.
sunlight, but
This is solar rover number 20.
Can you guys back up a little bit so we can see the whole thing?
you just
Yeah, I just
I can't. No. There you go. Unfortunately, it still requires a key.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing with a solar rover. You just want to hop in and be like, oh, it's a free ride, ready to go. And you're like, oh, I always forget my key.
I have the same problem on this vehicle, and I want to take off and I forget to actually turn it on. Same thing happens on Giggles every once in a while.
well,
You should know that.
And I know
You get
people sometimes forget to turn them off.
It thinks it has 643.5 miles of range.
643. That's because you've never charged it.
Right,
off the
so
grid, right?
We can go that the algorithm on the thing. So you can see that. Can you see the dashboard? Okay.
This is its projected range.
Right, because
Wow.
because you've never plugged it in to it.
Because we never plugged it.
Yeah. So this is how it calculates. It's pretty funny.
So now,
So-
all kidding aside, what is a typical practical range for around town?
This vehicle will do about 55 miles of range.
At about what
Wow.
speed? What's your typical speed?
30,
Okay.
25, 30 mile an hour.
28.
Yeah. Here's I can't. Well, you can kind of see the battery underneath there a little. Thanks, Gar.
Okay.
So did you guys?
What's that?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Is that an upgraded lithium battery?
Yeah, it's 150 amp hours, 60 volt. 60
It's a
volt.
60 volt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it charges at 73, so it's a 60 volt system. And so it has that kind of range. 445 watt panel on the roof. It'll gain 2 miles of range every hour in full sunlight.
Okay.
So it's 2% per mile basically is the way the thing kind of charges, and it'll gain 4% every hour in full sunlight. That's what I found so far with that. Then we got the Z box on the back.
The AC inverter for your wall outlet power. Gotta love it. 4,000 watts, 8,000 peak direct power.
Okay, so you're essentially
Cool.
doing vehicle to load here, so you can power other things
You
with
can run
the.
your house off of this. I mean, air conditioner.
I make solar
refrigerator.
ice at festivals. I just drive around with the cart making ice off the ice machine saying, hey, is your drink getting warm? How about some solar ice?
You guys mentioned kit, so somebody can just order all those parts from you guys as a kit.
Well, typically we do the install
Yeah.
for them. We do the install. So
Because
it's
we
done,
want to make sure that,
it's done right.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. I mean, I've done it for people, but I have to know them and work with them. But I still am involved, even if they're doing the kit themselves. I'm involved in it because every system I put together, whether Eric does it or somebody else does it, is a research site for me because this stuff's all new. How many people are driving around in solar powered vehicles? As far as I know, 20. From the
I
ones
think
we
everybody's froze.
built. Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
had one of those old Harley, you remember the old Harley 3-wheeled?
Right. Yeah.
Could you convert
Yeah. We
one of
actually
those
are
over?
using one at the farm we're using one at the farm to run the cantina power because the wheels are fried on it and it's kind of junk, but we
Oh,
leave
okay.
the batteries in it. So the batteries, and we use that and run an inverter, and that runs the cantina power. at
Yeah,
the farm.
they cook on it daily and lights all day and night. Yep.
Yeah.
So a nice little kitchenette out in the middle of the woods on the farm.
But would that motor still run off of your guys' setup, or do you have to also change the motor?
Oh, that motor is not working right now. So we're just using the batteries. We're just cannibalizing the batteries.
Right. The thing's been sitting and reflecting rust for a long time. So
Yeah, I just know of one, so I just wasn't
Mhm.
sure if that system would power, if that motor would work with that.
no, it would. Yeah. Well, if it was an electric cart to begin with, it will work if you can get it running. We just supply the charging system for it.
Yeah, yeah. If
The
your
kit's
car,
the charging system.
yeah, exactly. It's only
It's an alternative charging system. It actually becomes
Okay.
the main charging system. So now if you are desperate to charge it up and there is no sunlight that day, then you can still plug it in the old fashioned way and charge your car.
Yeah, we don't take the charging capabilities out. We just
We just
become
add
the
ours.
primary. Yeah, and then you use the primary one as your secondary backup.
Is there like an estimate price of that conversion?
Yeah, $1,500.
Wow, that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
what
if you
about,
want to get a brand new
yeah,
cart, a brand new one. Oh, go ahead, Carl.
yeah, what about the so the cart as it sits right there, the solar rover, the nice shiny blue one. If I wanted, I looked on your website, you had some other color options. If I wanted to buy something like that outright, what would the price of something like that be?
And starting at 15.
15,000. So it's
Okay.
either 1,500 for a kit or 15,000 for the brand new 2023 model. Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
then there's options. You
Right.
can get the 6-seater and that sort of thing. So there's other carts that we have available.
Yeah. Other styles and options coming.
Okay.
That's really cool.
But fundamentally, you can pretty much convert anything. I was going, I was driving along the road and I saw one of those GEM E6.
Cars, yep.
Have you seen those Polaris? And they were selling it, at the side of the road. So if something like that, if you wanted to put, then it's probably custom. You need to get a quote together for the mounting system and all that sort of thing, right?
Actually, we've already done a gem car.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, we've got a jam car down in Florida
Down
now.
Florida.
And we have a golf cart down in Florida that's being used to go golfing in. And yeah, you get to the 18th hole and you're still fully charged, where everybody else in the crew that doesn't have a solar panel
Or
on the
about
top is at
50%.
50%. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now,
Cool.
have you guys worked with the new mobile panel? Their flexible panels out. Have you played with those at all?
I've done a little bit with them. They're cool for certain applications, but they're not as efficient typically as the ones that are solid and flat. And then you still have to make some sort of a framework for them, unless you're like sticking it on the top of a bus, which would be a great idea. They could do school buses and just laminate the roof of that bus with solar panels. They got the electric buses here now.
Yeah.
Zealand's got one. Gaylord, I think, has got a couple buses up there.
That'd be a simple solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could easily do an electric school bus if anybody gave us an opportunity.
Yeah. When I first saw them with the electric buses a few years back, I suggested that to him, and he says, "Well, it never passed safety inspection. There's a weight issue." And I says, "The things in the flat form aren't much heavier than the paint you're putting on it. Come on." I mean, it's a thin film, It was a dumb excuse, but anyway. Yeah,
That's
that's the
cool.
politics part of it. Yeah.
So
But they do make solar buses easy. We've already done one, and the one that we did is only 8-passenger, but it's got 1,800 watts on the roof.
Proof of concept. It's working.
It's so much power that during the day you hardly use any power out of the battery system driving it. So at 75 volts DC, I think there's 72 volts DC on it.
It's running the entire farm in Fenville right now. Like I said, it's a microgrid on
amount
wheels.
of power to be used, but you can plane out basically the solar panels keeping it running, and you're not using any power out of batteries at all. And that's just in 445 watt panels. So
how many of them? 5 of them you put on there?
Four 445s.
Nice.
So about 1,800 watts of full power, real close to it.
Now, that one you didn't add a battery, right?
Well, the batteries were already on the bus.
Yeah, it was already an electric vehicle. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it for sale on the side of the road. I saw electric on the side. I said, "Oh, I know what I'm doing with this."
Nice.
That's
No-brainer.
That's the yellow one that we saw at one of the National Drive Electric Week events, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
parked right there with the Teslas. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and speaking of which, are you guys planning to come out to any of the National Drive Electric Week events? There's Kalamazoo, there's Grand Rapids. Any chance you might see one of your?
We're going to show up at one of them, but we'll see. It depends on where we are.
You'll have to show up and see if you see us there.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna be there. All right. Any other projects that you guys do? I know. Brad, you do home solar installations as well, right?
Yep. And my new thing's a trailer. I love the trailer because one, it's mobile. You can take it with you camping. You can take it hunting. You can pull up in the middle of nowhere and have all the power you need to run power tools and saws and things. And you could build a cabin in the middle of nowhere completely off grid. And then when you get the cabin built, you still have your power system sitting on the trailer just to run everything inside. It's having your own power is really a cool thing to be able to do. it's so versatile. There's no limit. I can't express to you
How
what it's like to
liberating
be-
it is.
Yeah, freedom of all these kind of things is it's addictive.
Now,
Translating from
Real
is addictive.
freedom. Real freedom.
what size trailer was that you converted over?
It depends on what I'm trying to do. I got one for the solar rover, the blue one here. Carl may have a picture of that somewhere in his edit. If not, I can send him one. But that's got 3 panels on it, and it's just a small scale version of it. But with that, I can power a PA system, an ice maker, and because they both have the same charging system in them, I can umbilical the 2 of them together. So
And the trailer has 3 panels.
So now it's a dual charging system, which means I can charge the vehicle 3 times faster.
And quick charging.
Plus running all this other stuff. So it's a vending machine on wheels. I can pull up to a beach and give people free ice.
It's a dream wagon.
While I'm making smoothies for people or something like that.
Imagination's the limit.
Yeah.
Right. And have live entertainment. I got an 8-channel mixing board and a 300-watt power amp on the thing that I can power all day. That's just the small scale. The bigger scale, what I want to do is the new Rivian delivery truck for Amazon.
Once they decommission those, we want to get our hands on
I
one.
don't care how I get one, but I want one because it's a nice big vehicle. And once you've got panels on the roof of that thing, that is a solar powered vehicle, just like everything else we've built. But now I can add a trailer under the back of that and do the same thing at that scale. And now I got 15,000 watts of power at my disposal to charge that vehicle up in full sunlight, maybe more, depending on how I do the fold out and so on with the type of panels that we can get. Now I can travel 1,000 watts of power, 750 pounds of torque to a drive shaft. So let's say I put 3,000 or 4,000 watts on the roof of this thing. You do the math, that's a lot of force to the drive shaft in a vehicle that weighs, say, 6,000 pounds. Once you get planed out like on a boat, it doesn't take as much energy to keep you there. So let's say I'm doing 55 on the highway in Nevada, full sun. I'm doing, probably half that energy to keep me going. And the other half of it is going into the batteries and charging the vehicle while I'm going down the road.
That would be great.
So now I can travel country to country and never think about fuel again. I'm on vacation indefinitely.
That would be great.
Yeah, there's a, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a couple from Holland that drove a electric Skoda with portable solar panels down to the tip of South Africa. So
wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you have to check that out sometime.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one. We're not the only ones doing it. Thank God.
Yeah,
it's happening. The goal is for everybody to learn how to do this. We're not even taught on basic electricity in elementary school, and I teach it to 3rd graders, and they get it. I mean, everybody knows how to squirt the water with the garden hose, and it's just plumbing. It's invisible plumbing. So the sooner we can adapt to, as long as we fear electricity, oil rules has kind of been the way the game has been run. At least that's my theory on it. So we need to wake up and learn how to do this stuff.
And we're showing people, and that's why we're having this conversation right now. And we really thank you guys for allowing us to share this with the masses and really time to wake up the populace. Go bask in the sun and enjoy vacation. It's great.
So
every day.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
We're traveling on the sun. We're having lots of fun. And we're showing people things that say
can't be done.
All right.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you for your time. And we'll put a bunch of links to your page in the show note, but ZSRsolar.com, and they can get in touch with you and check it out.
All right. Well, thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
it, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks again, guys. That was cool.
If you enjoyed or learned from this episode of Zero E Michigan, please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. Visit our YouTube channel for other related videos at youtube.com/@0E-Michigan.